With sufficient rains and early planting, this year's corn crop is off to a record pace. Joining us now with this week's Bottom Line is Neil Melancon. And Neil, earlier this week, Avery and I were driving across South Louisiana, and the corn crop out there really looked good. What's that going to mean to prices as far as what farmers receive and what consumers are going to be paying later come harvest?
Well, Mike, as I've said in a previous segment, if this corn crop holds on, it will be one of the biggest in more than 70 years. Now, what's changed between now and then is 2 weeks of good weather that has both allowed planting work to get done and precipitation to help it grow in almost every corn growing area of the country. As we found out from Jay Grimes last week, we're in between a La Nina and an El Nino, so precipitation patterns are much more normal, and coupled with a warm spring, we've seen a lot of field work get done. Of course, the big advantage that Louisiana growers have is that we get it in the ground first, and as you can see here, we're already tasseling in this North Louisiana field, as well as across much of the South, while planting is still going on in the Midwest. However, in the latest planting progress numbers, 87% of the corn crop is in the ground, compared to the 66% five-year average. Beans are humming along too, with 46% planted, many coming in behind an exceptional winter wheat crop, which the weather is helping as well. The five-year average, of course, well below that number. The bottom line, though, is that I think we have a critical mass of corn in the ground to provide a very large corn crop this year. Record-setting or not, it's very likely to offset the last few years of tight supplies. This will in turn mean lower prices, but it will also trigger greater export sales. Just last week, in fact, China bought almost 1 million tons of U.S. corn, tendered mostly for the upcoming crop year. It will be good for livestock producers as well for cheap, abundant feed, especially when coupled with the wheat crop. Finally, it will again be good for consumers as corn factors into so many products we buy at the grocery store. The old saying about good corn, Mike, is knee-high by the 4th of July. However, most areas will see it much higher by then, and Louisiana will be up to our ears in harvest.
Well, Neil, let's hope that a lot of that corn that's going into cattle feed will hopefully bring down the price of those steaks we're going to put on the grill around the 4th of July. Neil Melancon, thanks. And remember, you can listen to any of Neil's reports on the Louisiana Farm Bureau Radio Network. For a list of stations where you can tune in or listen online, click on over to our website, WILATV.org, and look for the LFB radio link on the left side of the home page. That does it for this edition of This Week in Louisiana Agriculture. Be sure to join us next week when we'll celebrate Graduation Day. Kristen Oakes on the future of Louisiana agriculture. For all of us here at This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, I'm Michael Dana. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope to see you again right here next week.